I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world today. Hello, everyone. I'm back. I feel like I've been gone for so long, and I'm back in my normal routine. Thank you for tuning in if you're watching this live. And if you are watching live, can you please drop us a note and let us know where you're tuning in from? I'm happy to be able to come to you live today. It's such a privilege and an honor to be here. If we haven't met yet, my name is Inga van Roy, and I'm known as the Networking Ninja. You may be wondering why. Why that name? Well, as someone who really felt trepidation when it came to networking, I now have embraced it. And the reason is all because of one of the pillars of my very existence. If you watched my intro video, you will have seen a word displayed that is not very familiar in the Western world. That word is Ubuntu. I will display it for you so that you're aware of what it is and what it means. So, what does Ubuntu mean? It is an ancient African word that means humanity to others. It is often described as reminding us that I am what I am because of who we all are. I'm sure you've heard the saying that we are the sum of the five people around us. Well, for me, I take it a step further. And what I believe is that I am the sum of all the people that I've encountered in my life, as well as all the experiences that I've had. If it wasn't for certain things, I really wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm grateful and I embrace it all. Once again, if you're watching live, please drop us a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm really excited to be able to introduce my guest to you. She has contributed to where I am today, and I'm so grateful for her. Um, just before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors. So, thank you to our sponsors. The first one is Island Spices. Island Spices is a company that is a home business, a local business to me here in Toronto, and they provide island inspired foods. So, thank you to you, Island Spices. We appreciate you. And also, thank you to Kindness Inspired. If you have a look in the bottom left hand corner, you'll see a picture of me um, displaying their swag. We've come a long way. And the owner of Kindness Inspired, of course, is somebody that is very close to my heart as well. So thank you to you, Kindness Inspired. We appreciate you and your sponsorship. So, again, if you're watching live, drop us a comment, let us know where you're tuning in from. And without further ado, I would like to introduce you to my friend, Nancy. Hello, Nancy.
Pleasure always, Ingor. How are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
More than amazing. Woke up this morning, so the day definitely started well.
Amen. That's, I agree, right? There are so many who didn't, and we need it is an honor and a privilege. So
It is.
thank you for being here, Nancy. Um,
And
before
thanks for
we
the
go,
invite. I'm so
oh,
happy to
it's
be
my
here. Thank you for,
pleasure.
yeah, that's awesome.
I'm so happy that I can highlight you. So I'd like you to please just introduce yourself to the audience and let them know who you are, what you do, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
Yeah, sure. Well, Nancy Baki, since 2007, I've been basically recognized as a business growth strategist, and I help businesses triple their net in 12 months. Um, yeah, it's still working there. You are still here. Yes. And I basically use low and no cost strategies. I find, when the pandemic hit, I just had to find something that can help these businesses work more strategically when it comes to growing their business. So
Hmm.
I basically interview experienced business owners. It's an awesome process that I've started a few years ago. That basically I just show them some strategies, get their insights as what would they think their industry, how would they utilize these strategies and how would it help their industry.
Hmm.
Really take it from there. I believe in giving value in whatever you do, and that's what I love about your topic about networking today. A lot of people think networking is just about like, okay, which client am I going to have today when I go networking? And
Yeah.
it's really not. It's really so that's why I kind of incorporated that as a give and take, so that I'm able to take their insights, put them in my
Yes.
second update in the book, and they get awesome strategies that are easy to implement that they can do at no cost.
I love that. Yeah, you are awesome at networking, I will say. You and I met through a networking group, so it's hey, if it wasn't for networking, we wouldn't be here.
I
Um,
agree. I agree. And I think I believe in Gore, everybody has that touch of networking inside. They just need to understand how to utilize it and not be greedy,
yes,
and really understand that give or take and that the value that should be given.
yes. So we as I said, like we're gonna talk about the power of networking. So what is networking, and how does it tie into the word Ubuntu that I highlighted earlier? So here is the dictionary definition of networking. Nancy, would you please go ahead and read this for our audience?
Absolutely. The action of process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts.
Yes. And I will highlight a quote from Susan Rowan. She says, networking is an enrichment program, not an entitlement program. So when it comes to networking, the most important thing is to give, give, give. I think a lot of people don't get that sometimes. But yeah, that is what networking is truly, truly about. And I see we have a few comments, so I'd like to just acknowledge the people that are in the audience. So, hello to you, Katie. Thank you for being here. And Katie says she's tuning in from central Wisconsin. So happy to have you here, Katie. And please um, connect with Nancy if you'd like to. She's awesome, and I would encourage anybody to connect with us. So thank you, Katie, for being here. And hello to you, Kennethia. She says she's tuned in all the way from Cape Town. Business Breakfast Club is tuned in. So thank you for being here, Kenny. Yes, I know you've met Kenny, Nancy.
Yes,
Uh,
amazing lady.
yes. Thank you for tuning in. And hello to you, Raven from South Africa as well. Awesome to have you watching, everyone. Thank you so much. And so let's dive into our topic, Nancy. This is called Inspiration from Anger. So I have some inspiration questions first that I'd like to ask you.
Sure.
Um, can you tell us what inspires you?
In networking or just what inspires me, period?
In general, it's fine.
Business wise, what inspires me is seeing businesses grow after putting all the work that they've done. in it, because growing a business takes work. Some people think, oh, let's just put a landing page and we're going to grow the business. No, it doesn't work like that. There's little work that needs to be done. So when
Mm-hmm.
I see they're loving the fact of not just learning and actually implementing and taking the time and not doing it alone, because I do believe everybody needs a coach, even the coaches need a coach.
Yes.
That's really what makes my day. It's, other than my family and, husband and kids, that is my other reason for waking up in the morning.
Mm. That's wow. That's so important. And I love what you highlighted there because I often say that too. Coaches need coaches, you know. Um, we can't, nobody can go it alone. That's the beauty of networking too. It's finding those people that come along the way and that can inspire you, that can encourage you, that can just motivate you to keep on keeping on, right? Um,
Absolutely. Ingor, I would not be where I am today, mindset wise, business wise, family wise, everything, if it was not for my coaches at all.
I love that.
Yeah.
Um, so, tell me, who is or was your role model growing up? Can you tell us about them and like why they inspired you?
Very good question. My role model, I probably had a few role models, to be honest.
Hmm.
Nobody specific comes, like quickly off the top of my head. But when I was in my, call it, late teens, early 20s, I was one that was very different from the rest. I wasn't leaving college going to look for a job.
Mm.
Actually, it wasn't my plan. It did happen. Somebody came to, when I was in university and said, I want you on my company. But, I took that job because it was, one, a great job, but it was more a learning curve, early 20s, get out of university and just learn what this world has to offer. But I
Mhm.
quickly learned that it wasn't a job that I wanted, that it was really, I really wanted to work for myself. I just didn't want to have a boss. Oh, what are you doing? How are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Like, I just really wanted to control my own. But I
Mhm.
had a lot of learning to do. So I just learned from a lot of different successful businesses over the years, not one in particular, and successful people in specific who mentored me, who showed me what they did. And I learned from them. And
Mhm.
that is my biggest inspiration because over when I was young, it was like, go get a job. You're going to need your health and eye and I don't know what insurance, and for me, I was like, why would I get a job to get health insurance? Or dental or whatever. So yeah, so that's a long answer, but that's the best I can give you right now.
No, that's good. Thank you. It's just all about getting to know you, right? And what makes you tick. That's so your answer is your answer, right? So,
Thank you.
um, one of the things that I really believe in, and it comes from a quote. Let me see if I can find it. I usually display this quote, and it's by Kevin Cruz. Um, I'm just looking. Oh yeah. And it says life is about making an impact, not an income.
Amen to that. I love it.
Yeah. So this is something that I truly believe in. Because I believe that if you pursue the impact, the blessing of the income will come, right? And
Absolutely.
so for me, my life statement is to positively impact the lives of others.
I love it.
Thank you.
And you
Um,
do. Every time I see you, whether it's at the networking, whether it's here, you're always inspiring. It's with a beautiful smile behind it as well.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. Um, so can you tell us what is a life statement or something that you live by?
Well, it's getting out of your comfort zone is where all the magic happens.
Mm,
I believe that if I dance and sugarcoat things,
mm,
it's not going to get you out of your comfort zone. So that's the one thing that, whether it's the family, whether it's business. And if I can add a second one, it would be more, don't just learn, implement. Because if you're
mm.
just learning, you don't need me. Just go to Google because everything that you want is in there, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly, what works, what doesn't work. But if
Yes.
you're ready to implement, and you're really serious to do what it takes, like let's get on a call. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
I love that. Yeah, because you know, we can learn all we want, right?
Oh yeah.
There's so much information at our fingertips.
Yep.
Um, I came across a quote a few years ago that says, um, "Knowledge is what you're left with once you've forgotten everything that you've learned."
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So that is the truth. Like if you take that knowledge, that information that you learn, and then you implement it, that's when you get the knowledge, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah. Let me highlight another quote about networking, which is this one. It's by Dr. Ivan Misner, and it says, "Networking is more about farming than it is about hunting. It's about cultivating those relationships."
I love it.
Yeah. Um, I have a friend actually, his name is John Biglino. I don't think he's here, but John has he has a statement that he lives by, and he actually has a hashtag as well, and it says hunt the relationships.
I love it.
Hunt the relationships. So yeah, you want to farm instead of hunt, but if you do hunt, you need to hunt the relationship, which is so pertinent, right?
It
Especially
is.
in this day and age. I know that the pandemic has impacted us all. So, you know, relationships are what is gonna get us and help us get to where we need to be, right? And I see a few comments, so let me just acknowledge them quickly. Oh,
And
wow.
Carl. Hey, Carl.
Hello, Carl. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Carl was one of my guests actually a few months ago now. Wow, like time flies. But amazing episode as well. Just so much value. And if you don't know Colin, you're watching this, please check him out on LinkedIn. Connect with him. He's all about vulnerability. So yeah, somebody good to know actually.
Yes, he is.
And wow, Katie says, yeah, she does. Inga is my inspiration. Wow, Katie. Yeah, thank you. That's so sweet and kind of you. Thank you so much. Um, okay, let's go on to the networking questions. I'm going to do this. So, what's your take on networking? Like, how do you approach networking, Nancy?
So I believe networking is all about number one, like you said about John, building relationships. It's really the number one goal. Um, a lot of businesses, unfortunately, they walk in and they're like, okay, like I said earlier, like, okay, who's my next client here? And
Mm,
I believe removing that mindset when you walk into a networking group.
yeah.
Um, number one, I believe it enhances the whole entire group when you walk in and you're more of a giver than a taker. And first impressions matter.
Hmm.
So when you're walking into there and somebody's like, "Oh, look, she's just trying to sell," that thought of you is gonna resonate in there. It's either the good or the bad, and it's the first thing that they hear, right? So the power of having a really good sound bite, like I called it. I did a nice event a few months ago. It's on my YouTube channel, 20-minute just on how to master networking. That sound bite is so important to know. It's like remove all the eyes. It's not about you. It's about the other person. It's like prospects have a problem that they don't want. You have a solution. Like show them what the solution is without trying to sell it. So lots of different techniques that you can use on that. But again, as a whole, it's show your excellence part of you when you walk in and not your selling part of you. Um,
Hmm.
and think of whatever's going to come out of your mouth. What is that other person receiving? That's really really important. So yeah,
Mm.
that's there's a lot of amazing other points that I can give you, but those are my first few that off the top of my head.
I love everything, but I like particularly what is the other person receiving when you speak. right? Because your words can lift up or it can break down.
Absolutely.
And so we need to make sure that we choose our words wisely when we're speaking, because that's also our brand, right? That's who we become known as. And yeah, wow. Um, I remember hearing you speak on um, the elevator pitch.
Yes. That was at the global tea break.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, um, from that, can you give our audience a few pointers? Because I'll tell you, after I heard you speak, I had to change mine.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah. So I'm not sure if you picked up on that when I was speaking earlier on, when I introduced myself. But yes, I incorporated a little bit about what you taught that day. So
That's awesome.
can you give our guests a little bit on that, please?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, it's really important to have something prepared, definitely. Whether you're, they call it the elevator pitch, whether you have that 10, 15 seconds, like as if you were on an elevator, or a friend
Yeah.
of yours says, Hey, Ingrid, I haven't seen you in so long. Like, what are you doing now? Or just the fact that you're going on an online or face to face networking. Have something prepared, a short version, a wide, and a longer version, like a 30-second, 45-second, or one. Um, Always have something. I call it a market dominating position. So, also known as USPs, what makes you different than the rest. Again, you'll learn that if you go and you want to go and check the video, you can learn a few in there. But basically, it's what separates you from your competition. So you don't just sound like, oh, yeah, I'm a lawyer that does family law. And you just sound like every other lawyer or real estate agent or whatever you guys do, right? Um,
Mm,
and quickly, what it is, I mean, I'll just give you a little interrupt, engage, educate, offer. It's really what it is. It's you're really stating the problem that the prospect has that doesn't want. You're not talking about I, because it's really about them.
mhm,
Engaging. So it's, what's the next thing that you're going to tell them? It's the promise to the solution that you have, and always leave with some type of offer. Like I offer my free book, my first book. People ask me, "Oh, can I buy it?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to. I don't need your money for it. It's like a thick business card. Go get it for free. Something that you can give to them to create value. Give them a little gift. They don't know you. Like why would they do business with you when they have like 30 other real estate agents in their life? Really talk about, how it can benefit them, the value that you give them. And you're taking them really through the buyer's journey while you do that. And then interrupt, engage, educate, offer. So you're educating and then giving them a risk free offer, which is like myself, it's the book. I mean, I have a client, she's a psychologist, and she just put together her funnel, and she gives anxiety, the top 7 secrets or so. I can't remember the exact words of how to deal with anxiety on a daily basis. Like she figured out what the problem is that most people have. That's her target market. So getting away from that, what else in networking? Again, giving, giving, giving. Don't take. Don't have the end in mind saying who's going to be my client or how many clients am I going to get. But giving value is really important. So when you put your soundbite together,
mm,
have something where, like, Ingor, you do this and this. Oh, great. How do you do that? You want to be like that jaw down, like, oh my God, I want to know more. Um, and one of the most important things that I encourage people in networking, and I'm opening a networking group right now. It's very cherry picked people. So that's why you won't see it really everywhere. Don't forget to make an appointment with at least one person. Just get to know them. Don't think of, again, the end in mind. Just get to know them, grow a relationship, because remember, when you network, it's not about just who's in this room. It's who do they know. That's really important. Like I just spoke to somebody, and I have 4 people that I can think of for sending him business. They have nothing to do with anything that I just see potential that they could either grow together, grow potential. Why? Because that networking is really about helping you grow your business. It's not just about, I mean, that's how we met, Ingor.
yes.
We so that's huge.
Mm,
um I could probably find some more points in my brain at this moment, but if you're good to go for now, then we're good, and I'll add some more as we go.
yes, I'm good to go. I'd like to acknowledge some people in the comments. So here we have. Tim Sohn, he says, top of the morning to you both. Tim, I have to say, you know, I met Tim through live streaming, and we got to know each other, and we're friends. And he sent me this goat because this is like his signature. Um, and he sent it to a few people actually. So I love to be able to just showcase my goat every now and then. So thank you for being here, Tim. Awesome to see you. He says, show your excellent part of you. Yeah. Mic drop. Yes. Yes, I agree. And yeah, we have Katie. She says, interrupt, engage, educate, offer. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, I actually, Katie and I met on through LinkedIn, and then we had a first meeting yesterday, and man, yeah, we could go on and on, but our because she's in central Wisconsin, basically she explained it as being in the middle of nowhere. Internet's not so great. It was good, but then all of a sudden she lost connectivity. But
Oh,
it was really good to meet her, and I'm so glad that we took the time out. So,
very nice.
and Kenny says, "Great advice, ladies." Oh my gosh, two black belt networking giants. Salute you.
Uh,
Ah, thank you, Kenny. I had the privilege actually to meet Kenny and some of the BBC people when I was in Cape Town, South Africa. Just wow, like I feel like it's long ago that I left because so much has happened since then. But yeah, I left on the 24th of February, and I was privileged enough also to speak at a BBC event, which was really awesome. I'll definitely make a post about it so that people can hear more about what I had to say. But yeah, networking is so important, especially
yes,
for the entrepreneur and in this day and age, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Um, okay, let's see. And
Actually, can I put a note on that? You know, you said
yes,
it's one of the most important things. Some businesses, actually most businesses that come to me and that say, "Oh, I want some leads." Great. Sometimes they don't even need the leads yet. They have to really go back to foundation. But going back to leads, one of the best ways to get leads is networking. One, doesn't cost you anything but time.
yeah,
Two, you're talking to people face to face. I mean, I prefer face to face than online, but the fact that pandemic passed and now we can meet people all over the world without having to take a plane. I mean, I've been doing it for years as well, but for people that are not used to doing that, it's a different world.
yes, it
But the
is.
power of networking is huge because people think, oh, let me go spend thousands of dollars on Facebook or Google. People see, and I'm not saying that doesn't work. It doesn't definitely work as long as you have it done properly. But networking is just something faster because you're connecting, you're looking at somebody's eyes, and you're being true, right? So I just wanted to add that because
Yeah.
the power of networking is exactly what it is.
Yeah, it is really powerful. And I think about it like this too. Like, yes, you and I are both in Canada, but I haven't been to Montreal in years. So I don't even know how you and I would have met if not for networking.
Absolutely.
And now I'm even thinking about when we can actually meet in person sometime. So,
Well, come to Montreal anytime. Give me a heads up. Just please don't come in winter. Come when it's nicer because it's pretty cold in the winter. Colder than Toronto, more snow than Toronto.
yes, I know. My husband has a few friends there, so yeah, I know about Montreal. It's crazy, actually.
Well, I hope in the future to see you.
Yes, it'll be awesome. And of course, if you come to Toronto, let me know too. I'd love to
Definitely.
be able to meet. How has networking impacted you, Nancy?
It's huge. My belief is every person that I meet has their own sparkle, their own personality, their own uniqueness, their own ways, their own connections, their own We
Mm,
learn so much from every person, every conversation with them. And again, not just them, but also when they like who you are,
yes.
and they like what you do, and it's it's that personality, that click, that the referral from there is huge. Actually, I've been networking for a while. It is where I get my business. It is where I get
Mhm.
my referrals. Actually, even before people say, let me refer business to you, I'm like, stop, please don't talk about me yet. Let me show you what I do first. Because then,
Yeah.
like, it's great that you like me. It's wonderful, but I want you to see what you do so that when you're introducing it to somebody, um, it's really grown my business. It's the perfect way to find great joint ventures, new friends like Ingor, like me and you. And I've met other people, like we can chit chat just about how we feel about our husbands, about our kids, just something that
Yeah.
just great people connection. Like, again, great friends that I've met through there. Um, and I think it brings it back to the ultimate goal of networking. It's building solid business relationships and personal relationships. So it's definitely
Yes.
changed my life.
Amazing. Yeah, honestly, networking has really impacted me on a large scale. I didn't think, to be honest, I didn't think I would even be here. But if not for networking, I really wouldn't have. Yeah, I've grown so much this last year. To me, looks like, when I look back and I look at everything that I've accomplished over this last year, it's insane. Um, I'm not sure if you know, but I published my first book at the beginning of this year. And really, I wouldn't have thought it possible if not for certain people that I met along the way, including you. um
Mhm.
it's, yeah, it's always been one of my hopes, one of my aspirations, to be able to do it. But yeah, I didn't think that I would ever get to this point. And
Y-
I,
Ingor, you're very sweet, but at the end, I may have brought one little nurture drop, but it's you at the end that did it, right? You
yeah,
learned, you got value from me and many others, but it's really in
yes,
your hands and that's the power of people around you. Because if
yes,
it wasn't for you wanting to take the initiative, because there's a lot of people that they'll sit there, like I said, and learn and meet people and do nothing with it. But you literally took it. So I congratulate you for where you are at, from where you started to and started following your dreams and the passion and the love that you have for others.
thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. uh I see one comment. Let me just go and acknowledge this person. Hello. um Thank you, Nashi. She says, "You ladies are really awesome. Wow. First time I'm tuned in, Inga. Quite interesting thus far. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. Happy that you getting some value from this, because, it's so important that we don't just sit here and chat, but to bring value as well, right? So, and hello to you, Norm. He says, "What is your balance of asking questions and listening balances with sharing who you are and how you impact lives?" Um, I'm not sure if this question is directed at me or Nancy. So, Nancy, if you'd like to answer the question first.
So, balance, I mean, asking questions is what I do every day in my coaching with my clients and
Hmm.
prospects, because I believe asking the right questions will get you the answers, will make them even think, because sometimes people are not asked enough questions.
Yes.
And he's right, Norm. I mean, the listening balance is so important because sometimes we speak so much and we
Yes.
forget that listening is a skill. And I mean, I was bad at that. I'm only getting better at my listening skills because I'm seeing such the importance of it. And
Hmm.
my coach and different people said, "Wait, Nancy, I said this. You didn't even hear that." I'm like, "Oh my goodness." So like I've been learning that more and more as the years come, but the listening skills are so important. Just stop thinking while you're listening to the answer. um
Yeah. Um, Something that I've heard that people do actually is, instead of listening and taking in what the person is saying, what they're doing is they're listening to be able to, to answer what they're saying, right? So it's really a fine line. And I'll answer the question from my perspective. um, it's something that I strive to do, and it's something that I learned from my mom actually, and I teach my kids, is that we have two ears and one mouth. So we need to listen twice as much as we speak. And I try to do that, especially when I'm networking. I usually, what I start off with is I try to encourage the other person to speak and tell me about who they are, what they do before I jump in. And sometimes I actually don't get to the point of speaking, but that's how it goes. So it's always interesting, and I love to learn and to listen to other people tell their story.
And
So
no, I like that. And I'll add something else to Norm's question is, and
mhm,
I learned this the hard way years ago as well, to learn that listening and balancing of asking the right question and things like that, you don't need to answer right away.
mhm,
Give it a second, let it sink in, and then speak. That's one thing that I pass it to anyone that takes it. I learned it the hard way. And I now do that as much as possible. I still, I'm still growing as we all are.
yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to add that little tip.
Awesome. And I will say, if you're watching, if you're tuned in live, again, please drop us a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from. And also, please be part of the conversation. If there's any questions that you have that you'd like to ask either Nancy or myself, please drop us a comment and let us know. I actually want to just check. Um, Okay, I can see that there are a few people that are tuned in, both on YouTube and on LinkedIn. But I know that, it's difficult sometimes to get involved and actually come out of your comfort zone and make a comment. But, we all learn and we all grow as we go along. So, one of the most important things when you're networking on LinkedIn, um, is actually, when you see a post, to make a comment and make a valuable comment so that you can stand out and people actually stop and listen to what you have to say. So, yeah, please, if you're watching, drop us a comment, let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you have any questions for us, please let us know. I have one more question actually for you, Nancy. But I see somebody just commented, so just let me have a look at it quickly. Oh, wow. Kenny says, when does one give up on a potential client?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a potential client and a client can have two different answers, but a potential client, I'll have to say, you can only give so much, right? And I always look at somebody, if I'm going to love to grow your business more than you are willing to grow your business, it's not that I'm giving up on you. It's just
Mm,
there's only so much that I can do, right? I'm not going to run after you to grow your business. I'll do a little bit of nurturing once or twice, but like three strikes are out. Nothing that I could do on that end, right? Um, and when it comes to client, because I have unfortunately fired clients in the past, and it's not because I really wanted to, it's because, I mean, why pay me if you're not going to do what you need to do, right? I do the three strikes are out on that one as well. Is if you're going to go out and pay for something, like don't waste your time and money. Either do it or don't pay for it.
yeah.
So yeah, I hope that helps Kenny on that. If you have any
Well,
other comment on it, let me know. I don't. What do you think, Kenny, Ingor?
well, for me, I don't like stalking people to find out, if they'd like to work with me. So I really don't pitch. I don't like pitching. Um, and let me acknowledge our friend Gail Robertson is dropping by. She's in the comments. Awesome to have you here, Gail. Let us know where you're tuning in from, Gail, please. And she says this is so key. The client needs to be engaged. Yes. Um, so my business is fairly new. I started it in 2020. But this is a lesson that I learned last year because there are certain, especially as a coach, when you're coaching somebody and you're giving them the pointers and saying like, okay, yeah, this is what you need to do, XYZ, and you're the SME, you're the subject matter expert. But if they are engaging you but they're not taking your advice and implementing it, then what is the point of being there? So I love that you actually have a line where you say three strikes and you're out. Oh my gosh. Um, and I think I need to do that too because yeah, I've had this experience and I know exactly what you're speaking about. And I think, when it comes to, let's just go back to Kenny's question, when does one give up on a potential client? Um, I'd like to highlight something that it is a term that I learned from Gail. I know that it's not her term, but it's called pitch slapping. And what is pitch slapping? Pitch slapping is when you connect with somebody and they start pitching you in the DMs without even nurturing that relationship, right? So, what we're saying is that you need to nurture your relationship, you need to network, get to know the people, and not pitch slap. But I will tell you, there is someone that I can actually pull up. I wouldn't embarrass her. I can actually pull up uh the DMs with her. This lady, she connected with me, she pitched me, and she pitched me again. I think she pitched me 3 or 4 times, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And I removed the connection. But do you know that she still does it? I think I have up to 20 messages, 20 to 30 messages from her where she's pitching me with no response, but she just keeps doing it. And like Kenny says, yes, it does feel stalkerish, right? Like it feels like, oh my God, like when are you gonna go away? Like, do I really need to block you? But sometimes, yeah, people do that. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Nancy.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on that because it's, a few minutes ago you said I don't like selling. We shouldn't selling. I can't even stand the word selling.
No,
I wish I could remove it from the dictionary, to be honest. But we shouldn't have to sell. If we
no,
sell, then we're trying to sell something that they don't need. But when we show
no.
them the value of what they're getting and not just
Yeah,
saying, okay, I charge this much or whatever, like, please put price away. It's not about price. It's about what am I getting? Are you helping me fix a problem? And
yes,
if you do the process right and have it systemized right, then the sale will come and then some. And people will talk about you more and things like that. So
yes,
I completely agree. Now, as for those 20, 30 messages, I probably would have blocked her at 4 messages, but I would have written her a message first
again,
because I don't block. I don't want to block just to block. I will see like, and I'm not going to even use Ingor. I'll use my name. Nancy, you've sent me 4 messages. And actually, this happened. I said, you didn't even write my name. It was not even personalized. I said, are you trying to sell me something or are you trying to get to know me? Because right now, like, I'm getting that you're trying to sell something to me.
yeah,
And I'll just go straight up because at the end, they may not like my comment or they may appreciate it because I don't know them, right?
yeah,
And then I'll give them another chance.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then if they keep on copying and pasting that same message, well, I just block them. It's very simple.
But it's so funny because she sends me different messages every time, and I'm like,
Hmm.
really? I actually have I have two friends that have responded to somebody pitch slapping them and basically said, "So tell me, how's that working for you?"
I like that one. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So,
But sometimes,
yeah.
Ingor, they just don't know what they don't know.
Mm,
That is a big one.
yeah.
And mine, I mean, I'm not embarrassed to say, because I mean, there's people out there, years ago, I used to not be a good listener.
Mm,
I was never taught how to be a good listener. But when one of my coaches said, this guy said this, and it was somebody that said, this guy had 5 kids, and I like just didn't even hear that. I didn't even comment on it. I mean, somebody that says 5 kids, I mean, me, I would definitely say something like, oh my God, wow, God bless you for having those 5 kids, or something to that nature. So what happened was my coach and other coaches around me said, look at this, look at that. And today I'm a better listener, and tomorrow I'm a better listener. Right.
yeah.
So coming back to that same message is, it's they don't know what they don't know. Sometimes that little nurture, that little sentence before
Hmm.
being that giving that punch,
Yeah.
you never know what changes their life.
Yeah. I've had conversations with people that pitch slap me, and I've sent them a message saying, this is not the way to go about doing it. And I've literally had calls with people because they wanted to then learn from me how do you go about it, because I said, like, it's not going to work because people don't want to be sold anything, right?
Oh yeah.
That's the main thing. People don't want to be sold, especially in the DMs. It feels like, oh my gosh, really? Like, so we're going to get married without ever meeting each other or dating, or
Exactly. Oh my God, that's the same way I use it. Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Yeah. So, let's go to the comments again. Traldon Thompson says, viewing from the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago, listening is really a skill that takes time to learn.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. Absolutely. And Gail says she's here in Windsor, Ontario, also Canada. Whoop whoop. Thank you for being here, Gail. And Nash says, Nancy, please, your YouTube channel. I'd like to check it out. Can actually pick up some advice. Yes, Nancy, actually, send it to me in the private chat, and then I'll post it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just have to give you guys a heads up. I am not a YouTube great at what I do. You'll find some things that I did like 20 years ago and some things that I
That's
did in
right.
my beginning coaching world. And please do me a favor. I just got a new camera because D Scott, like, D Scott, I was having problems with my camera months ago. And he said, just get this camera. And I got it. And oh my goodness, what a light. I thought it was my 10 lights that I had the problem, but it was my camera. So please, I look like a guardian angel in those videos. Ignore the picture, but enjoy the information. I'll send it to you right away.
Thank you. Yes, it's not about the image, right? It's about the content. So yes, I actually you and I haven't looked at your YouTube either, so I'll also go and look at it. Thank you.
Yeah. And keep in mind, everybody, like anytime I put something on YouTube, it's just a place to let it stay. But I always put them in LinkedIn as well,
Mhm.
because people are always looking for them. So
Oh, and something that is new on LinkedIn is you can actually go to somebody's profile and click the bell so that you are notified and you can get their content. That's fairly new on LinkedIn, so please do check it out and click the bell just like you do on YouTube. And that will help you stay on top of content because sometimes people really share some pertinent information, and it's good to be able to have access to that. I know for me, for the longest time I've had an issue with LinkedIn because I'd be sitting and waiting for somebody's like hoping to see somebody else's content, and I don't see it, and all I see in my feed is completely different to what I actually want to see. So, Nancy, yes, I see. Okay, I'm going to let me do this. And your YouTube is just it's under your name, Nancy Baki, right?
yep, 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 yep.
Um,
And I'm gonna
And
do something. I'm gonna send you also just for any of the guests today. I wrote my first book a few years ago, and I'm just sending you a link to it. Anybody can go in and just actually let me hyperlink it for you. And anybody can just get a copy of my book for free.
thank
Like I
you.
said, I don't sell it. It's really go and enjoy. If it can give you a little bit of an extra something on there, go and enjoy, learn, implement, and it's a
That's
nice gift.
that's very kind. Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
And then I want to, yeah, let me just post this in the comments. There you go, everyone. I've posted a link in on LinkedIn in the comments, so you can have a look at Nancy's link YouTube page, and I'll go ahead and do that as well on YouTube later on. But
You're
thank you,
welcome. Enjoy
Nancy.
them.
Yes, this is your, and I see Nashi's on. She's on YouTube. The person that actually asked for it, so I will definitely post it. Let me do it right now as we're speaking, so that I
Well,
can
while you do
just,
that, yeah, go.
yes,
I
go ahead.
wanted to say, like I put them on YouTube because a lot of people couldn't even come to the events for whatever reason. And so I have another event as well there. It's Sales Funnel Secrets They Don't Want You to Know, which was really, really great. There was over, I don't know, 460 people that wanted to show up. I don't remember how many showed up, but it was a really, really good one. It's a little bit longer, 40 minutes, but it's really like, um, anytime I say something, when it's whether it's a presentation or networking, whatever, I call myself like I'd rather play the guitar than play the violin. So just tell you the truth and tell you exactly how it is, instead of saying, "Oh yeah, that's a beautiful landing page," is when it's like really not going to work. I'm just giving you an example. So you'll see that I like to just head on, get to it, and so yeah. So enjoy the learning.
Thank you. And hello to you, Robert. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Robert was one of my guests as well a few weeks ago, more than a month for sure, because I was in South Africa for a month. So thank you for being here. I posted Nancy's channel on YouTube as well as on LinkedIn. So please go ahead and check that out. Also, here is Nancy's. I'm gonna copy the link and post it so that people can also see your your book. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if there's any experienced business owners that would like to get interviewed, have fun at the same time, and we, get to know each other, just send me a message on LinkedIn. Tell me a little bit of what you do. And I mean, I am about a week and a half to 2 weeks out to doing another interview. But absolutely, if we're on the same page, we'll definitely take an hour together and do that.
Awesome. Um, okay. Do you have any final thoughts for our viewers, Nancy?
Just enjoy. In business, whatever you do, whether you know what you're doing or you don't know what you're doing, or like I met somebody yesterday, they have passion in business, but they just don't know where to go and what to do. Just remember that it's not about you. It's about the other person on the other side.
Mm,
And again, coming back to the problem that they have, that they don't want the solution that they want, but they don't have, and you're the solution. And if you don't know what you're doing, in business, like, and you're like a startup or trying to think of a startup, think of, what do I know? What have I learned in my past? What have I gone through, maybe, or somebody that I know have gone through, that I have a solution to that problem.
yes.
Uh, you know, so these are two, and as growing your business, please stop wasting your time to go on Google and get all these free things and free things. I mean, it's great to get free things. Don't get me wrong. It's great, but they will continue, if they do it the right way, they'll continue trying to sell to you, or if the
Yes.
right way, nurture you, to buy something. Do you really need it? And if you do really need it, great. Don't forget to actually utilize it. Don't just let it sit in your email and not even watch it. And even if you do watch it, at least get to the implementation part of it. So yeah, that's
Yes.
the best that I can give for the end of that.
Yes. So make sure that we implement what we learned, right?
Always.
Thank you. And I just want to acknowledge, it's not letting me go down. What? Okay, so let's say, so Gail says she's here in Windsor, Ontario, and then it won't let me scroll further down. I apologize to everybody that's tuned in and has made a comment. I won't be able to post your comment. For some reason, it's not allowing me to scroll down and view the others. Um, but if you can read them, Nancy, if you'd like to acknowledge them, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have Stars Unlimited, also in Cape Town at BBC. So that's awesome. Pleasure Stars. And
Thank you,
Kenitha, talking about
Kenny.
Nash Smith. Yes, Kenny, of course. Thank you. Sorry.
That's
Whoop, 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 tuned in. Jewelry designer from Cape Town. Elbow bump, Ingor and Nancy's amazing, superb advice and
thank you.
washing hands. I think that's an emoji. And Stars saying hi to Kenny.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you, Nancy, for bringing so much value to our audience. It's always a pleasure to be able to speak with you, and I'm so glad that I could highlight you and introduce you to my audience. So thank you for being here.
And I
Thank you
appreciate
so much.
you. Thank you. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for hanging out for an hour. It's a nice break for me and my day as well. And always seeing that beautiful smile of yours. So, you too.
Appreciate you so much. I'll send you to the green room while I wrap up. So thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day. Make it a good day.
Yes, make it a good day. Amazing. And thank you to everyone who's here and who's been tuned in. If you've popped by, thank you. I appreciate you. And I just wanted to highlight something. Unfortunately, we didn't reach our goal with regards to the poverty project that we were hoping to host in Cape Town, South Africa. Um, we didn't have enough funding to be able to make the impact that we wanted. It was our goal to be able to actually impact 100 girls and women. So we are still continuing our funding. And yes, I am still celebrating my 40th birthday, which happened on September 30th. And the way that I'm celebrating is I want to ask you, if you're watching this, to help me celebrate by either doing one of two things. Take 40 minutes of your time to do something good for somebody else, or $40 donated toward the cause that I spoke of earlier. So, for those that want to participate, you can create a social media post and tag me, and also use this hashtag, please. 40 for Inga. We're still celebrating. I think I'll be celebrating until the 29th of September this year, the last day of being 40. But if you'd like to donate, please visit this website, h2hb.com, and in the top right hand corner, please click donate and select period poverty project when you're looking to donate. And again, at the end of the challenge, I will select 40 people to receive a gift to thank them for their participation. And so, again, it is 40 minutes or $40 towards this awesome cause. And if you don't know what period poverty is, period poverty is something that reaches all the corners of this globe. It is the fact that there are so many women and girls that actually don't have access to proper feminine hygiene products. That is something that really touches me because I have three daughters and I don't know what it would be like if they had to go through that. So that is why this is so important to me, why it is on my heart, and why we are still striving to be able to impact those 100 women and girls. So please, if you haven't donated yet, please either reach out to me or please go and make a donation if you can. And if you can't, that's okay too. Know that I appreciate you regardless. Thank you so much for being here. And once again, my name is Inga, and I am known as the Networking Ninja. The reason why I'm known as the Networking Ninja is because I teach people how to network in just 12 minutes a day. So if you think about a ninja and how fast they are, that's why I'm known as the networking ninja. So please, if we're not already connected, please connect with me on Instagram. I'm known as We Got This Admin, LinkedIn, Inge van Roy, Twitter and Clubhouse, I'm Inge V, and YouTube, Inspiration from Inge. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in. Know that I appreciate you, and I'll just say, oh, thank you to everyone who's dropped by, who's made a comment and added to our conversation. We truly appreciate you. And without further ado, if you haven't watched my intro video, I'm going to play it for you now. So enjoy and have a blessed Friday and weekend. And I'll see you back here next week for another episode of Inspiration from Inga. Take care and be blessed. Bye bye. I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here?